You must be born again. The rationale was, if it was true for Nicodemus, it certainly is true for me. We knelt underneath a tree and we began to pray. When I got up off my knees, I had invited Christ into my heart. And a walk began that day that has not ended yet. Changed me. My ambitions and desires were changed. Walking down the crowded path of Purasawakam. Now that's probably a tongue twister, but it's a part of Chennai, rather crowded part of Chennai. Walking down the streets of Purasawakam, Jesus talked to me and said, "Hey, don't you think these people around you need to know me?" I said, "Of course they should." Then he said, "You tell them. Somebody has to tell them. You tell them." I said, "I can't do that. They are going in 20 different directions. How can I stop them?" He said, "Sing, they will stop." I said, "Here in the street?" He said, "Yes." I said, "No." He said, "Why not?" I said, "They'll think I'm a fool." Now here's the answer he gave me. "You're already a fool." After you have laughed, let me give you the reason that he gave me. If you tell anybody that you are now indwelt by Jesus Christ, the first thing they think is, "What a fool." They may not tell you that. It depends how well bred they are. What a fool. What a stupid fool. That's what he was referring to. You don't have to be known as a fool because you sing. You are known as a fool because you claim submission to me. I had no way to wiggle out of him. So I found a dustbin. Not too many self-respecting people are found around dustbins. And I stood there, closed my eyes. It was desperately destructive to do what I was asked to do. Then I sang. When I opened my eyes, there was a crowd standing there. In India, if two dogs fight, a crowd will gather. So it's not difficult to gather a crowd. Now I had to do something. I said three things. I said, He, Yesu, is alive. 2, I have found that He is alive. 3, you also can find that He is alive. Everything inside of me dried up. I had said what I needed to say. Now I got to escape this crowd. I tried to push my way to get out. A man caught a hold of my hand and he said, "I want to know. Tell me." I was totally surprised. You will be too. Try some way to throw a line into the crowd in Mumbai. You will be surprised there are people anxiously waiting to discover whether Christ is alive or not, whether He can do anything to them personally or not. We haven't tried. Most of us are used to expressing our faith, our testimony within protected environment. Am I right or wrong? Then why don't you talk to me? Because I didn't ask you to talk, isn't it? Are you there? Are you listening? Yes. We don't. We don't like the discomfort of being exposed. It's raw. It could get nasty. Why invite trouble like that? This fellow held on to my hand and said, "Tell me." So I sat at the edge of the sidewalk and had a hip pocket New Testament. I pulled it out and showed him verse after verse. The guy ate it up. I couldn't feed him enough. I took his address, ran back to the guys I had led to the Lord, living with me in the college, and I gathered them and I said, "There's plenty of fish outside. Let's go fishing." 3.5 years after that, we went regularly into the streets, sometimes 3 times a week. It was there that he tapped me on my shoulder and said, "I want you. Come, follow me." Oh, they told me, "If you come to this part again, we'll break every bone in your body." I did go. Not any bone is broken yet, unless you break some. In Mumbai, God is with you when you obey Him. Something changes in you so radically that only obedience can lead you into that. Fascinating, wondering, and imagination running wild, all of that are great. But obedience, one step of obedience will lead you into an enormous, unending pathway of change, transformation in your life. I did graduate as a veterinarian and then went to theological studies. And had the distinction of being a pastor of a church. But all of that simply to say, when He says He will make you, He is faithful and true in transforming you. And the result is, you too become a fisher of men.